today we are going to start with exemptions, which are also very, very important. And this has been given in so many subsections. So, like what we had in direct tax, you need not have to remember, recollect those subsections. Only section 11 will do. And when we talk about exemption supply, there are nil rate, non-taxable, everything is there in that explanation. And section 11, just now I told you, of CGST Act. We are referring CGST Act from the very beginning. I told you. Section 11 of CGST Act. For only one thing we are going to refer IGST Act, that is place of supply. Okay. So after this, we are going to refer IGST Act, but only to get the knowledge of place of supply. Remaining everything of your syllabus is there under CGST Act only. So in CGST Act, section 11 deals with exemption. These are exemptions. Kindly take down. These are important. Otherwise, if you go to the material, there are huge descriptions given. In the material also, all these exemptions are explained. And I told you, kindly refer, kindly do the practice from here. There are plenty of solved illustration. There are many unsolved examples which are very, very important for you to have the knowledge, whether it will be online or offline exam. So when we will go for exemptions, this till here we have done during previous lectures, and there are many examples. Kindly go through these examples. They are very, very important. In MCQs, these examples will play a very vital role. Okay, and we did many of them during our regular lecture also. Then 9 also we have finished. 10 also we did. The book is available on my website. You go. Now we are dealing with exemption, which is there under section 11. You will see there are things which has been explained in subsections in several pages to pages to pages. But for your understanding, we have kept it, we have condensed it in few slides. If you know, by and large, you will be able to understand this entire thing. So for elaborative learning, for comprehensive learning, you can refer the material which is available here also, even in on website also, you can refer from anywhere. Choice is yours. Okay, but I have written in few I mean uh, slides which will be quite competent enough to, justify more or less what exactly is explained under section 11 of exemption when it comes to CGST Act. So kindly take down one by one. Once it is done, then only I will explain. Then again we'll go for second slide. Again you will have to write and then I will explain. Third slide, fourth slide, fifth. By sixth slide, everything will be over. So take down and let me know. So dear students, section 11 states first exemption given to the charitable activities. Which is charitable activity? That is explained under section 12 subsection A of Income Tax Act. If they have specified that activity, that business, that organization as a charitable organization, then any kind of supply to them is exempted under section 11 of CGST Act. Next is your services to the government. To the government. If you are giving anything to the government, then also it is considered as exempted supply. Which kind of government? If you are supplying to central government, if you are supplying to state government, if you are supplying to union territory, okay. If such kind of supplies are there, in that case, in those things will be exempted supply and there won't be any GST. Why it is happening? Because ultimately tax is revenue for the government. If we will charge, and you know GST is destination based tax. If I'm charging again, I'm submitting to the government, it is not making any sense. That is why these things are exempted under section 11. So keep it in your mind. Few example just now, as I told you, that charitable activities which are specified under section 12 subsection A of Income Tax Act will be exempted and covered under exempted supply. Similarly, when we talk about pure services to the government, if you are giving any services, say for example, uh, uh, any private aircraft, if they are giving the services to a common people, then it will be chargeable to GST. They will impose GST. But same aircraft, if it is used by central government for some, government purposes, or state government for, any kind of, suppose there is a tsunami or something like that, and then they are using those aircraft, then there won't be any kind of GST. Only the fare will be charged, no GST will be imposed on that. So not only the central state government, but also the municipality is covered under, but also the panchayat is covered under, so on and so forth. Okay, like files. There are many files which is required by the government agency. Earlier it was, now many things is now digitized, but earlier the files were required. So if you are putting to Mahindra and Mahindra and giving bulk file to them, you can charge tax. But when if goes to any kind of government, as here it is specified, okay, either to the central government or to the state government or to union territory, this is the panchayat which has been now specified under separate article of the constitution, and that is why it is given here the nomenclature, and the specification is given as article 243G of Indian constitution. So those kind of panchayat, you must be knowing that there is private panchayat also, which is popular in olden India. Okay. Okay, that. Next is, here also they have referred Income Tax Act. So wherever there is a reference of different act, they are always referring to those sections, subsections, those articles, and if they are purview of those things, then only it will be exempted. Otherwise, it will not be exempted. Very clear cut, specification given in this act. So you have seen here services to the government. If services by the government is also there, that is also exempted. Okay. Now here, postal services by the government. Postal in the sense very clear cut, not the express wala. Speed post are not covered under there. Simple postal, for which were the earlier traditional postal, only that is exempted. Rest all, if you are going to post office, they will charge GST. You go and check their slip. they will ask you to pay the GST, and you have to pay the GST. So yeah, I'm talking about pure postal old version, not the new version. Then aircraft or vessels. Okay, if the government is providing, you must have heard the, which was the movie, Airlift. एयरलिफ्ट मूवी याद है आप लोगों को? Okay, just now during pandemic, government has used many aircraft to get their citizen, to get the Indian citizen back. In those cases, they were charging only and only the fare. No GST was charged, because ultimately, if they will charge, government need to pay, and again after collection, I need to pay back to the government. So such cases, government avoid this kind of transactions, and they have kept it in exemptions. Okay, any kind of services by the government to the central government or to the state government or to the union territory or legislative assemblies. Okay, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. In such cases, it will be exempted. And if the consideration is less than 5,000, you must be seeing many contracts and bridges and all. If the consideration is huge, then GST will be charged. If it is very minimal, then less than 5,000, then GST will not be charged. Again, pure labor contract, otherwise it is chargeable to tax. If it is covered under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, then it will be exempted, otherwise it is not exempted. Now take down this, then we will have again further deliberation and discussion. See, try to understand. This means these are the main heading. These are the main heading. These are subheadings. Okay, pointer means subheading. Again, this is the main heading, and these are subheading. Let me make it more meaningful. Kindly take down, then we'll be having discussion. Thank you, Payal. So, if there is any religious ceremony, again you have to refer Income Tax Act, Section 12, subsection 11. That is also exempted. If there is any services by the hotel, only for those hotel where the tariff, only for rental tariff is less than 1,000 rupees per day. If the rental tariff is more than 1,000 rupees, then GST will be charged. So basically, for plagiarism and all, if you are very poor, such kind of people, this kind of benefit government has given to the people at large by not charging GST. Transport of passenger. See, there are two kind of transportation we have seen. One is transportation of passenger, other is transportation of goods. Now let us see for passenger. If you are going to northeast state by air, then in such cases all seven sisters of northeastern states, you must be knowing Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, these all are exempted by the government under Section 11 of CGST Act. So there won't be. You try. Suppose if you want, you try. Okay, if you book their ticket, they won't charge GST. If you travel other part of India, then there will be GST. AC everywhere. I don't know what kind of problem government had with AC. All AC, whether it is any cab, whether it is AC train, any kind of AC, they have covered under taxation bracket. They are charging. What? I don't know. It might be perception of the government that people, if they are, able to or afford to pay the ticket of AC, then those are, have a specific income bracket and tax to be charged. And that is why government has taken everywhere. If it is related to AC, they have charged the tax. They have imposed the tax. They have burdened the tax on those passengers. So even though it is bus and it is AC, the GST is charged. But if the bus without AC, non-AC, then there won't be any GST. Okay. Suppose you are traveling from here to somewhere. You must be knowing there are many now in this pandemic. I think bus services has given lot many relief to the people at large. You must be knowing trains are not very much in operations. So bus, car, these people have given lot many benefit to the people. They have taken the person from one place to another place. So if you will travel with AC bus, then you or AC car, anything related to that, it will be chargeable to GST. So whatever is the fare plus GST will be charged from you. But if you are taking non-AC, then no GST will be charged. So if there is air transport for a passenger for those northeastern states, there won't be GST. It is exempted under Section 11 of CGST Act. Non-AC transport, you must have seen buses are there by the government, railways are there by the government. Railway be all the hour, except first class and AC. Okay, metro, mono, auto rickshaw, inland waterway. Again, to promote water transportation, government has came with this scheme. If you will travel with water, suppose from Mumbai to Goa, you are going by AC bus or AC train, will be charged GST on your fare. But if you are going by waterway, there are ferry, there are cruise ship kind of things. If you will use those things, then it will not be chargeable to GST. GST will be exempted under section uh, 11 of CGST Act. So, by and large, to remember and recollect, keep in mind for transportation, it should be non-AC. For air, of course, all aircraft is AC. So, thereby you have to remember and recollect seven sisters, all seven state of eastern part of India. So, those all are, covered under exemptions under section 11 of CGST Act. Okay, any kind of if it is auto or any kind of transportation services, if it is AC, then it will be chargeable to GST. If it is non-AC, non-chargeable to GST. Inland waterways exempted. Okay, even in auto rickshaw, if it is AC, they will charge. Transportation of goods except transport agency, courier agency. We are not talking about them. They are fully covered under GST. Okay. If suppose you have given mover and packer, they will charge GST. Okay. If you are given to any courier, DHL or something like that, the non-courier, they are going to charge GST because they are not exempted under section 11 of CGST Act. Okay. For other goods, if it is defense material, exempted. If it is newspaper, see, lot of weightage to be given to the newspaper. But after this pandemic, I think this is again an industry which has been affected more. And it is good now there is a concept of electronic newspaper, which is far better. Lot of paper will be saved. I mean, people now have habituated to reading the newspaper on their mobile phone or on their laptop or on their television screen. Wherever they want. So that is again a good move. But newspaper were exempted. Even you have seen even the definition of goods also it was exempted. If it is any agriculture equipment, so you must be seeing this all which is basic recruitment requirement of the government. Either defense, newspaper, magazine, agriculture produce. Suppose if you are taking from one side to another side through railway, and if it is wheat or rice, there won't be GST. But if it is any other FMCG product, okay, then it will be chargeable to GST. So this is how the government has sub-classified and charged the tax and kept certain items as an exempted items, whereby they have not charged, uh, they have not covered under section 11 of CGST Act. So this all by and large you have to remember, recollect. Otherwise, just read all these things which is there in the act. There are vast descriptions. Okay. See, अभी ये पूरा का मैंने अभी 4 सेंटेंस में आपको समझा दिया. If you want to have the depth knowledge, please go and refer those materials of textbook. No problem. So we were dealing with these things only just now. We'll continue with the remaining exemptions in next lecture.